Hey guys, today I'm going to go over how to factor polynomials using the difference of squares equation. So in order to use the difference of squares, it has two things. It has the perfect square for two variables, so an a squared and a b squared, and then in between you have a minus sign. And this minus sign is very important. So if you have two perfect squares, a squared and a b squared, and then in between them you have a minus sign, you can use this formula. So let's look at some examples and let's try to identify which ones are we could use difference of squares for. Okay, so remember the first and most important thing is we need a minus in between. So we can right off the bat cross off this one with the x squared plus 4 because there's no minus in the middle, there's a plus sign. So we know that one is not difference of squares. And we also need perfect squares. So we know x squared is perfect square, 9 is a perfect square, 4 is a perfect square, 1 is a perfect square. 9 is a perfect square because 3 times 3 equals 9. 8 is not a perfect square. We cannot multiply two whole numbers to get 8. So this one is also not the difference of squares. Okay, so now we have three equations that we will practice using difference of squares for. So steps one, we're just going to take the square root of each term and then we're going to plug it into the formula. So let's try that. For this first one, we have x squared and we have 9. Notice I only put the square root over the number and not the negative because the square root of a negative number is imaginary. So the square root of x squared is x, the square root of 9 is 3. So for that one, we get x plus 3, x minus 3. On the next one, I like to, when I have a coefficient and a variable, I like to put a square root over both of them. So I have the square root of 4, the square root of x squared, and the square root of 1. So the square root of 4 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And the square root of x squared is x. So we have 2x and 1. So our two parentheses are 2x plus 1, 2x minus 1. Okay. Now on this next one, I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the square root over 16 and over x to the fourth and over 25. Now the square root of 16 is 4. And x squared times x squared is x to the fourth. So the square root of x to the fourth is x squared. And the square root of 25 is 5. So for our two parentheses, we're going to have 4x squared plus 5 and 4x squared minus 5. Okay, and I think that's the last example I had there. So hopefully you guys find that one pretty straightforward. That one's my favorite one to do because all I have to do is take the square root and put plus or minus. It's not a lot of thinking into that one.